Well, I have a real treat for you this morning. Someone who I think is just amazing. And my friend, Dr. Claudia Paul, who grew up in Vienna, Austria, but has been living in Mali for the last 6 years, is here with us. She's going to share some of this ministry with you. But we have a little video to kind of warm it up. Now, in case you're wondering, where's Mali? Because how many people know Americans are geographically challenged, you know? Mali's right by Indiana. No, I'm teasing. Mali is in Western Africa, just barely south of the Sahara Desert. It's where Timbuktu was. In case when you were growing up, you always wanted to go to Timbuktu. You can go to Bamako, which is pretty close, you know. So, okay, we'll run the video.
Mali is a country a lot of people have never heard of, and I'm just burning to go out there and share with people what's happening here. My name is Claudia Paul, and in Mali it's Harrisburg. Because in the Malian culture, you do not touch your child, you don't hug your child. And even parents, they never say any words of encouragement, any nice things to their children. It's supposed to make them weak. And when they first came, these kids, I mean, you should have seen the difference. I mean, they couldn't smile. So we started, I mean, not only praying for them every day, but just hugging them and encouraging them, speaking positive words of encouragement. It's just been incredible to see the transformation just because of that. So it was a year after I came to Mali, just after a year after I got here, when it was time to start the church. And God showed us this place where we're at right now. And at the same time, God was telling me two things at that time. Do a Christmas party for street children and then a healing meeting at New Year's Eve. And it was incredible. That first party, we had, I can remember, 80 kids maybe that came. We gave them food, we gave them clothes, we prayed for each one of them. We preached the gospel to them, gave them a opportunity to start a life with Jesus.
We actually started coming to the property right after we got it, and over a year before we started building, and doing a weekly program here for the children and the neighbors, or the neighbors-to-be. So we got to know the neighbors pretty well very early on. And they loved us, they all love us. And we do different events where we invite them over and we do banquets and different things. So the community loves us around here. People are really happy with all we do. We hand out rice to widows in our neighborhood as well. And so people come also to get prayer for healing, since they have heard that people get healed here. And they're very, very favorable towards us. They love what we do. Sometimes we have some problems with street children that stay around the property, but on the whole, people love what we're doing and they love coming here.
Okay, so I'm going to bring my friend Claudia up, and if you want to bring Paul up as well, you know, so come on up here so everyone can see you. And before Claudia shares with you briefly, I just want to tell you, I am so impressed. I could not do what she's doing. She's went by herself to one of the poorest countries on earth, one with the least number of Christians in the whole world, and has been there for 6 years now, building something, a little outpost to heaven in a very dark place. So, Claudia, bless you.
Thank you. Well, it's great to be here with you. I haven't been in Pennsylvania in a very long time. And I want to say I can't do it either, Charles. I'm just a little girl with a big God and holding his hand and doing whatever he wants to do. That's really all I do. But it's amazing to me what God can do with one person, you know. And I'm definitely proof that God can change the world. And there's so many people in here. You can change the United States and the world. So just don't limit God. He can do anything, you know, and I'm proof of that. But Mali is one of the really the forgotten nations, poorest nations. It's French speaking. There's very, very few Christians, and nobody seems to want to go there. But I prayed a bold prayer as a young believer. I said, God, send me where I've never heard the good news and where nobody wants to go. And I ended up there. I'm still the only white person. I'm crying out for workers. But of course, I prayed nobody wants to go where nobody wants to go. So I hope some other people have prayed the same prayer. But I've been there for 6 years, and I've seen vision become reality and a dream come true. And I'm glad God shows us always the best parts in advance. It's definitely not been an easy journey, but we have 7 churches right now in the villages. And they're calling us from all over. They hear about the miracles, they think we're a medical team, and they want us to come bring them the gospel because they're fed up with Islam, they're fed up of living in fear of the spirits, and they want Jesus. But really, we cannot go to any other villagers right now because it's too much for me, and Paul is really the only indigenous helper I have I can depend on. So that's why we're really praying for people to come help us out. So you're all invited, not at the same time. And and what's really at the heart of what we do is to work with the street children. I believe the children are really in God's heart, and God's going to change the nation with them. There's thousands and thousands of children there, and we invite them in every night. We invite them into our property, on our base, and we let them sleep on our base. We teach them the gospel, we pray for them, we have baptized a lot of them, and they go out now during the day on the streets, and they stand up for their faith, and they talk about Jesus, and they're persecuted for it. Because we just don't have any more room right now to take in more children. But right now we have 12 kids that live with us, and they love Jesus. Some of them know they want to be pastors, evangelists, and